It seems to have gone from bad to worse for Bayer Pharmaceutical ever since acquiring U.S. seeds company Monsanto for $63 billion last year. Now Bayer says that the number of cases alleging that the company's herbicide weed killers, including Roundup, have caused cancer have more than doubled over the past 3 years. In July, the company reported that 18,400 cases, and that number ballooned to 42,700 cases by October 11th.
Yeah, well, already 3 U.S. juries have ruled against Bayer in cases brought by Americans claiming that Roundup caused their cancer. Shares in Bayer have plummeted by 30% since the acquisition was completed in the summer of 2018, last year. So joining us now to go in depth is host of America's Lawyer himself, Mike Papantonio. Mike, thanks for being here. So let's start with this claim that Bayer is making that there is extensive scientific research, they say, showing that the glyphosate-based herbicides are safe and they say do not cause cancer. But again, 3 juries have already ruled that they do. So how does Bayer overcome that?
Well, they can't. I mean, the truth is it's being cleared now that what the science they're relying on is science that they paid for. They went out and found biostitutes that would sign off on whatever it is. They would actually write the article. It's called ghostwriting. They would write the article. They would take it to a scientist or a doctor that wanted to make a little extra money on the side, little extra money, $500,000 or $1 million, simply to put their name on the bottom of the document. It was all a lie. The clinical data was phonied up. The clinical conclusion was phonied up. But that didn't stop scientists that wanted to make this little extra money signing off on it. Saying because of that, there's 42,000 lawsuits right now, and many people have been injured by Roundup. And that number, I got to tell you, it just keeps increasing. It's going to continue increasing. Look, can you imagine being the people at Bayer Corporation who made the decision to buy Monsanto, knowing that this liability case was way beyond anything that was being publicized? It's laziness. It's corporate laziness. It's a CEO and the advisor to the CEO at Bayer who didn't have enough sense to look behind the science. And what they had coming at them was these silk-stocking Wall Street lawyers that were telling them, oh, yeah, this is a good merger. This is a good buy for you. So they purchased this for $62 million. They obviously ignored the fact that the claim just right now, if this case were to settle today before these numbers increase, they're already looking at $15 to $16 billion just to make this go away. In another 2 months, another 3 months, that number of 42,000 cases will be up to 70,000. And so the CEO, for that person, first of all, not to be fired and have all of the folks that advised them not to be fired cleaned out and said, you idiots bought a problem that's going to cost us $15 to $17 billion, knowing clearly that the science showed a clear relationship between this product and cancer. So, I mean, you go tell me, you're more familiar with the business world than I am. What I'm familiar with is that the way this was sold to them is they had these silk-stocking lawyers that were charging $2,000, $3,000 an hour, telling them, oh, yeah, this is fine. We're okay. And then they get hit the first time. Then they get hit the second time. Then they get hit the third time. And I'm going to hit them again at the first of the year. And the science is clear. They can try to dress it up any way they want. This is a losing proposition for Bayer and Monsanto. They better get out of this case now. From a business standpoint, they better move on right now.
And it's interesting that you mentioned the thoughts of Bayer's CEO, because they've been making the point right now that this huge jump in lawsuits is because the surge in anti-Roundup advertising on the plaintiff's side. Now, estimating that over $50 million on TV advertising alone has been spent in the third quarter of this year. How much of this actually has to do with advertising and is actually people who have problems here?
Think of how ridiculous that argument is, okay? They're complaining because people are advertising, and now all of a sudden people that say, yeah, I saw the advertisement, and oh, by the way, I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and oh, by the way, I've been around Roundup for 3 years at a really steady pace. I've been exposed to it. I've had it on my skin. I've breathed it in. Look, for somebody to make the argument the only reason we have this problem is because of advertising, that same idiot who makes that statement should say, shouldn't we have looked at this, Bayer, before we spent $62 billion buying this useless company that's been lying to the world for 2 decades?
Now, Mike, real quick,
phonied up the science.
I want to stop you for a second because I have one more question. We're almost out of time. I want to get to this real quick. Bayer, they're trying to engage in mediation at this point, right? Trying to work something out. But it sounds like what they're trying to do, and I want to get your take on this as a lawyer, is essentially get a settlement which would cover potential future claims and then cap liability. About 30 seconds here. What do you think are the chances of them actually getting that?
Yeah, well, okay, look. Okay, here it is. The negotiator working on this case for the plaintiffs is a dear friend of mine. He's one of the best negotiators in the country. His name is Perry Whites. If they don't take a lead from Perry Whites, they're going to be in trial for the rest of the life of that company. I can promise you. They have their one shot. The only person negotiating right now is Perry Whites. People like me who do this seriously for a living, we have faith in Perry Whites. If they don't get it now, they're going to be 70,000 cases into this, and it's going to cost them far more than $17 billion.
Mike Papantonio, host of America's Lawyer. Appreciate your time. Thank you.